watching Rogers TV.
Hey, welcome to Daytime Ottawa. We have got a great show for you. Just saw my first guest already. Well, one of them, and now you've seen both of them. Ralph Janikis joins me. He is the food and drink editor over there at Capital Eats, and at Dodola Pando is the owner and executive chef at Dotola's Kitchen. Welcome to you both. Great to have you here. Ralph, I'll start with you. Tell me how you came across Dotola's Kitchen.
Well, as so often happens when I'm driving around, in this case I was going to a garden center in the spring, and as I drove by, I looked and said, oh, it looks like it's a Nigerian restaurant. Well, I better stop in. So the very next day I went in and I ordered a number of things and fell in love with the food. And it's one of those situations where not only does the food taste great, you know that it's made with a kind of precision that comes from the heart. It really felt like love, and the flavors were unbelievable.
Well, we love when you introduce us because everyone always calls these places like hidden gems. They're not really hidden gems because they are so busy. I want to ask you, how did you get into cooking? Tell me a little bit about your background.
I love cooking. I started cooking at a very tender age. Maybe let's say about 9, 10.
Okay.
And so moving to, and in Nigeria, we have a lot of, a large family. So people come after church to my house every Sunday. So I'm doing lots of cooking. So moving to Canada, we decided that, okay, you love cooking, why don't you start something? And then so I started cooking in and out. When I have large catering like weddings and things like that, I go into the commercial kitchen.
Okay.
Rent a commercial
kitchen. So doing
like
big events, catering, larger events. Okay.
Yes.
And then when did the restaurant come in?
The restaurant started last year, May, thereabout.
Okay.
And we decided to come out there instead of renting and paying so much for rent. So we decided to come out there and have our own kitchen. So that was how the journey started.
And here we are today on live television for the first time, everybody. She's so excited. You're going to prepare something for us here today. Tell me what we're making today.
Okay, today we are making nonso wrap.
Okay.
It contains beef, the grilled beef. That's what is called the suya. And with the tortilla wrap. And then the secret ingredient is the nonso sauce. That's the secret ingredient.
We're not giving that recipe away. Yeah, that's the secret. Okay.
And you have vegetables in it. Wrap it up and then put it on the grill.
And you're putting me to work.
Yes.
Okay, so I will cut the vegetables and we'll get started. So, Rolf, she mentioned the nonso wrap. You obviously tried this. Tell me a little bit about what stood out to you with the nonso wrap.
Well, first, as soon as I had it, the sauce, I believe your daughter makes the sauce.
Yes.
Nice.
And it is extra special. It really is super delicious. The sandwiches, it can be a little bit spicy, but it's not so spicy that you don't taste everything.
Okay.
And it's the charcoal grilling on the beef that makes it so magnificent. The flavors are really special. And I actually am listing this as one of the top sandwiches of the year.
Really?
There will be 3 sandwiches.
Thank you.
And Detola's sandwich, nonso's wrap, is a bit of magic, and you want to try it.
Nice. So what's the secret to the beef? Do you marinate it? Tell me about that process.
The beef originates from Nigeria.
Okay.
From the northern part of Nigeria. They sell it all over the country.
Okay.
Now, and it's a northern that makes suya. So they put it. We have this special. This is the suya spice.
Okay.
So this goes into marinating it, and then you leave it, maybe you do it a day before so it gets into it well.
So is the suya spice at Adola, is it a mix of different spices?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
okay.
Yes.
So could you buy that at a specialty store that's already prepared?
Okay. African stores sell suya spice.
Oh, nice, okay.
But you have different grades. This is the top of the grades.
That's the top of the line you're using, okay. Okay. All right, so we got onion, tomato, lettuce I'm cutting up here.
Yes.
And then you're cutting up some of the beef there as well?
Spin that.
Oh, I got to spin. Yes, of course. Thank you. So suya originated where
Nigeria,
exactly?
In the north.
In the northern
part of Nigeria, yeah.
So when you do, Rolf, you mentioned, top sandwiches. Is that article out yet, or is that coming?
No, that's going to be at the end of the year. It's either going to come out before January 1st or it'll come out in the first week of January. It's going to be my yearly roundup.
Nice.
But the other thing that I have to mention is there will be an edition coming out of the top eats for under $10. That's going to be coming out in the next few weeks. And there are a number of things from Detola's menu that will be on that. They are really, really special.
Amazing. Okay. All right. Lettuce has been spun.
Okay.
What are we doing here?
So you start with the sauce.
Okay.
You put the sauce as the foundation.
Of course.
So you have
Secret
the
sauce, everybody. Okay. We're not giving that away.
And then we put the lettuce.
Okay.
Do you want to do side by side, or let me finish and then?
Yeah, you go ahead. Yeah, absolutely. Okay. I got to learn from the master here. I don't know what I'm doing.
And then, so we have
No jokes over there. My floor director started giggling when I said I don't know what I'm doing. See how they treat me here at Atola?
So you put the onions.
Okay. And what's the feedback been like so far? Obviously, we've heard from Rolf, but other customers, what are they saying to you?
A lot of people love the nonso wrap, especially the students.
So are there other ways to do nonso wraps?
Yes. So here I have beef. I'm working with beef now.
Right.
You can also use goat.
Okay.
So, but with the goat, you have to debone it.
Right.
And then season the same way, and then put them on the grill, and yeah, it comes out very, very nice.
And apropos goat, you have to try her goat soup. It really is fortifying, especially now that we're getting the damp in the air. This is stuff that will just warm your bones.
Nice.
It's beautiful.
Oh, I love it. Well, and that's what we're getting into that time of year. Sorry, go ahead.
So if you want it spicy, you put, the pepper is already in the...
on the beef?
So,
yeah.
So you put an extra here just to give the kick.
Okay.
So I'll not put too much. So,
okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So then you have the beef.
You're very generous sandwich too.
I'll leave some for you so you can use for the next one.
Okay.
So like that.
I don't know if we'll have time, but that's okay. You're going to show us how it's done.
Then I'm going to put extra sauce on it.
Of course you are. The special sauce.
Yeah.
Whereabouts are you located at Todola?
On 2544 Bank Street.
Okay.
It's at the junction of Albion and Bank.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So opposite Kia
spot.
Motors. Yeah.
All right. How much time do we have? A minute? We got 1 minute at Adola. This is TV. It goes very quickly.
So now we can wrap.
Okay. Man, it already, by the way, can I steal a piece of beef while you're doing that and try it?
Okay. So it goes on the...
Oh, my goodness.
On the grill.
Isn't that good?
That is so good. And you're right. It has a little kick to it, but it's not overwhelming. Some people like to go hot just for the sake of hot. This has the perfect mix of flavor and hot.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
So it stays here for a few minutes. We'll bring it out and...
All right.
Yeah.
We'll let that go. I'm going to remind everybody again. 2544 Bank Street, detolaskitchen.com, by the way, if you want to visit on the website. If you have not already subscribed to Capital Eats, please do so. CapitalEats.ca and Ottawa Lookout. Great newsletters that come into your mailbox each and every week. We'll be back with more right after this. Don't go anywhere.
You're watching an interesting local show on Rogers TV and you want to know more. That's when you head to rogerstv.com. Our website provides more information about our programs, our hosts, our schedule, and about how you too can get involved with Rogers TV. Visit us online at rogerstv.com.
This episode of Daytime Ottawa is brought to you in part by Trio Financial Planning, helping individuals and families live today and build for tomorrow. Branton Renovation is pleased to support this episode of Daytime Ottawa. Branton Renovations, Ottawa's award-winning renovations team.
Kids these days, people say we lack initiative.
And technology, that we're all addicted.
Kids these days, we hear that we only care about ourselves. Apparently, we're lazy.
And don't seem to have any sense of independence.
Actually, kids these days are facing a lot. Because the world has changed, and so have our health issues. Kids these days, we could really use your help. Join CHIO in our biggest fundraising campaign ever to transform pediatric care.
This episode of Daytime Ottawa is brought to you in part by Dustin Design and Drafting, your first step toward building your dream project with a team approach. Daytime Ottawa is proudly supported by Mary's Must Read Book Club. Follow Mary on social media at Mary K. Taggart for her latest book club picks.
This episode of Daytime Ottawa is brought to you in part by Eastboro Designs. Eastboro Designs, designing a bold lifestyle through functionality and beauty.
Hey, welcome back to the show. Well, Christmas and the holidays just around the corner. And if you're like me, and of course, any busy parent, especially like my next guest, who has 3 boys, so always busy, but you want to make those connections and have those togetherness moments. Andriana Gonco joins me. She is a self-care advocate and host of the Juggle is Real podcast. Welcome back to the show. Great to have. Hello. I'm even surprised you can even make time to come and see us because you're such a busy mom. And connecting is such an important thing, you know, throughout the year, but I think it's even more special during the holidays, right?
That's right, Derek. And you know what? I always have time to come here to Daytime Ottawa. I am so thrilled to be here. It's so great to see you. And it's right. You know, we're thinking about the holidays now. We're almost in full force. And we're thinking of what should we do? What should we get? And you're right. It's a busy family life. And I've got 3 kids. And, you know, they're playing hockey. My husband's coaching. There's a lot on the go. It can feel really hectic. But we want to make those moments to come together for that family connection, for that fun. And, you know, those moments, they go by really quickly. So we want to make the most of this time. So that's why we've got some ideas for family connection with the holiday gifting this year.
And you know what I like is this idea because, you know, parents are always worried about screen time, right? And, you know, we've moved in, and I love the idea that board games are back, but you're not getting the kids away from playing games, so why not participate with them? And that's what we're talking about today, right, with this puppy you brought along with you here.
That's right. We want to find things that the whole family can get on board for. And it's right. You know, kids love playing games. And whether you're getting around the dining room table, you're in the living room, you've got a big gang. And that's why I've got this beautiful bundle to share. Now, this, Derek, this is the Nintendo Switch OLED model, the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe bundle. Okay, and it's a bit of a mouthful. I get it. Yes. But that is because there's so much value, there's so much goodness packed inside. So let's go through it. In this bundle, of course, you're getting the Nintendo Switch OLED model. Right. Now, this is my family's most favorite gaming system because it is versatile. Okay. As a mom, and you say the word versatile, you got my attention. Okay. And it does double duty because you can hook it up to the television. Right, with the family, you got the whole gang going. You can also take it on the go. It is portable, has this beautiful, vibrant 7-inch OLED screen. So, you know, we're headed to hockey tournaments, we're on the go. Yeah, it's bright, it's vibrant, perfect for all of your gaming. So you've got both options, which is really, really nice. Also included in this bundle is the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe bundle. So the Mario Kart 8 is a full game download. And we were just talking about this. This is the iconic game. Yes. And Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, it is so much fun.
We're seeing it some of the visuals right now.
So much fun. There's more characters, more courses than ever before. And it really is, whether you're 5 or 95, no matter your gaming level, you can come together for so much fun with Mario Kart. And I have the best memories. I have 3 younger brothers. We grew up playing the original, and there's so much fun in this game. So this bundle not only comes with the full game download, it also comes with a 12-month Nintendo Switch online individual membership. And so what that means is that you can play online with your friends and family. So no matter where you find yourself this season, I mentioned I have 3 brothers. They live all over the world. So my boys get to play with their uncles, and it makes for so much fun.
That's awesome.
So this beautiful bundle, the best part about it is the savings. So you're saving over $100 when you purchase the bundle. That price point is $449.99.
And you know what I just noticed too is that you can carry 2 items at a time in the new Mario Kart game, where in the past you could only carry the one. So I guess you can flip through them. So that's a really cool idea.
Lots of fun things. Yeah, absolutely.
What have you got over here? I was talking to you about this. This is like one of my all-time favorite series of games here.
Yeah, so this is Super Mario Party Jamboree. And so when you're talking about that family connection and having a little family fun and competition, this is such a fun game. And again, no matter your age, no matter your skill level, there are over 110 mini games in this, which is more than any other installment. And so you're having lots of fun, whether you're having family over for the holidays or a big gang, or you just want to have those cozy nights at home with your family. This is such a fun game that everyone can get involved in and everyone can have a lot of fun.
I was going to ask you about that because, you know, some video games, I think people get intimidated because there's so many buttons, and, you know, if you're playing one of these fighting games, you got to, you know, up, down, side, X, square, you know, but these games are really simplified in that, as you said, what, you know, 5 to 95-year-old. Am I right in that it's that easy to sort of pick up?
Yeah, and you know, you can have a lot of fun with it. We have a 3-year-old. He likes to get involved, and so we have, you know, mommy's team, daddy's team. Everyone gets on board, and we can have a lot of fun with a family-friendly competition.
Yeah, why do you think these games resonate so much with families and connecting? I mean, you know, I'm just thinking if my granny was still around, man, she would love to be playing something like this, honestly.
Absolutely, absolutely. I think what really is key, Derek, is that we're coming together. You know, like things go by, we're carpooling, we're getting to here, we're going there, we're working. Things are so busy. So anytime we can have those moments where we can come together and truly connect, whether it's in the spirit of having a little fun through a board game, having some fun snacks, or just making that time and carving out that space to come together, the Nintendo Switch really allows you to do that and to have those moments that the kids can get on board for too.
Right.
You know, I love going hiking. The kids think that's boring. You know, and so this is something that we can all do. I can't get on the hockey rink with them anymore. They have far surpassed my skill level, and so this is something we can all do together, and that's what really makes it fun, especially around the holidays, but no matter what time of year.
I mean, being a busy mom yourself, you know, with 3 kids, what about balancing screen time? Obviously, they're going to play some of these on their own, not just with family. What are your suggestions to parents out there and helping out in that aspect?
Absolutely. I think having the boundaries is really, really important. At our house, we do have those family routines, and so they have in the morning when they wake up, after school, and before bed, they have certain things that they have to do. You know, they've got to have their breakfast, get dressed, pack their school bags, get their homework done. There are certain things that have to happen.
Right.
And so just communicating it, being open with your family members, letting them know, of course we want to have fun. Of course we want to see you, you know, do all the things that you want to do, but we also have to do it in moderation, and that's why these boundaries are in place, and just having an open conversation about the rules and the guidelines.
Where can people pick up the bundle right now?
This is available at select retailers. You can also find all the information, all of the details at nintendo.ca.
Fantastic. I think I'm going to have to get one of these, you know?
I put the bow on already for you, so you're ready to go.
This is perfect. You can find Andriana on Instagram. Really suggest you follow her, Andriana G, on Instagram. And of course, you can visit her website, andriana.com, to find out more information. Don't go away, because on the show, we're talking ice cream, we're talking beer, the Cooper brothers, their big 50th anniversary coming up, all that more coming up after the break. Don't go anywhere.
This episode of Daytime Ottawa is brought to you in part by Trio Financial Planning, helping individuals and families live today and build for tomorrow. Branton Renovation is pleased to support this episode of Daytime Ottawa. Branton Renovations, Ottawa's award-winning renovations team.
This is a brain in urgent need of mental health care. But because 3 out of every 4 Indigenous people experience racism in healthcare, she may not get the help she needs. Become an ally. rise above racism in healthcare.
Get front row seats to Music and Beyond's unforgettable summer festival. Experience world-class concerts, mesmerizing performances, and much more. Music and Beyond presents a new season on Rogers TV.
This episode of Daytime Ottawa is brought to you in part by Dustin Design and Drafting, your first step toward building your dream project with a team approach. Daytime Ottawa is proudly supported by Mary's Must Read Book Club. Follow Mary on social media at Mary K. Taggart for her latest book club picks.
This episode of Daytime Ottawa is brought to you in part by Eastboro Designs. Eastboro Designs, designing a bold lifestyle through functionality and beauty.
I was just telling my next guest how many wonderful memories I have because my father is an absolute ice cream maniac. I mean, obsessed with it to this day. And we grew up going to Baskin-Robbins minimum once a week. And we have a brand new Baskin-Robbins just down the road here in Westboro here to tell us more about the brand and why their ice cream is so fantastic. Ronnie, Louis joins me, and you've brought a helper along with you here. Well, introduce me to your helper here.
So, hi everyone, I'm Ronnie.
Nice to meet you.
So I'm the Baskin-Robbins franchisee, and I own 5 stores so far.
Wow.
And then there's another 8 stores to build in the next few years.
Really? So why Baskin-Robbins? Why did you choose this brand?
I worked at Baskin-Robbins on the 2005 as part-time job when I started in the University of Ottawa.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but I never left it. So my major is electrical engineering, but I like ice cream. My mom likes ice cream. That's the reason I bought a store, and she invested for me. For my first store, I bought a Hawksback location.
Okay.
That's in 2016. And then my sales boosted like triple.
Really?
So that's what. So I have a chance to buy the second store on Bank Street.
Yeah.
And then after that, after 1 year, I bought Orleans location. And then in 2022, so that time is Baskin was the Inspire brand. They've completed the acquisition of the Dunkin' brands, including Baskin-Robbins.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So they want to expand. They
Right.
want to expand their stores in the Great Ottawa area, from Brockville to the Air Pryor, from the Rockland to Smith Falls. So they signed a store development agreement with me and my partner Lena, and then we from last year, so we're gonna build 10 stores. So last year we built the Barhaven stores, and then this year we built the Westboro stores.
Just amazing. Well, you brought some photos of the store, right?
Yeah.
Let's talk about what you brought along here.
So that is the new designs. The name is Moments. So there's 5 elements. So first is the lighting and ceiling design.
Nice.
So we have upgraded the lighting and the ceiling to create a warm, inviting vibe that make the whole stores feel cozy and modern.
Very
and
cool.
then we have this digital menu.
Oh yeah.
So you previously we used that just the traditional old menus, but now we changed the digital menu. So we got 4 big screens that shows our menu dynamically, and it's super clear and makes the ordering quick and easy.
Nice.
And at the same time, and we will show the promotions, like this one.
Yeah.
It's a take-home sundae. It's very delicious. It's a 5.
So it's already ready-made sundae to take.
And then we
Okay.
can do the customize as well.
Nice.
So we have 5 flavors in the store in the freezer. Customer just come and grab and
Okay.
go. Yeah. So
Okay.
2 for $20, and the pre-packed is 31% off for every 31st day. So individual $9 something.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
So that's the 2 elements.
Okay.
And the next one, so we will see. This is the silver cake freezer. So that's the freezer, has LED lighting,
yeah.
making the cakes look even more stunning and tempting. You know? And then the most elements I like is our dipping cabinet. The dipping cabinet here.
I never heard of that.
Yeah, so dipping cabinet is like crystal clear dipping cabinet. It display our 31 famous flavors plus another one flavor of mums. So most of the customers thought we just have 31 flavors, but it's not.
That's just at any given time.
Yeah.
Is that right?
So every month, Baskin-Robbins will launch the one new flavor.
I see. So how many flavors right now?
32 in a store, every store so far.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's this new freezers just not only look slick, but keep our ice cream fresh and delicious.
So I need to pick your brain here because I mean, what an incredibly quick success you've had, right? With so many friends. What do you owe your success to? Like if other entrepreneurs out there and they want to know a little bit more about your story.
Being a franchisee, being a small business owner, it's both challenging and there's a lot of work that you have to do. But I think that is worse. Yeah, and you know what? I always work like 16 hours per day.
You do, right?
Yeah, and then, but I just want to create a welcoming space that people can enjoy their life as a sweet moments. And then that's my goal. So, and I treat my employees very well. So our employees
she's nodding,
are my friends, my family.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So
why Westboro as a location?
Westboro because I know this area.
You do. Okay.
Yeah, I know this area, and I realized there's no Baskin-Robbins.
No, there hasn't. Yeah, there used to be one way down on Carling Avenue, right?
Avenue.
That's where I grew up going. Yeah.
Open a new Baskin-Robbins to serve this community.
Oh, this is a great community to have something like that.
I met.
We're grateful that you came to the community.
A lot of like nice people here.
Yeah, agreed.
Really fantastic.
You've got a customer appreciation day coming up. Tell us about that.
On the November 30, so next Saturday from 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. So we hold the Customer Appreciation Days event in our 3 locations: Westboro location, Barhaven, and Orleans.
Okay.
So we're gonna offer a lot of the promotions like. Pre-packs 31% off, and we have the BOGO ice cream scoops, like buy one, get one free. And for next whole week, all cakes are $5 off. And we offer the coupons that can use before the end of this year. And next year, we're planning to offer a lot of promotions because we want to attract more people. Wanted people to try our ice cream.
Yeah. Well, $5 off. I got to plug myself here very quickly. My birthday's coming up next week, so honey, you heard the man. $5 off cakes, because I absolutely adore your cakes. Thank you so much for being here. Really appreciate it. Thank you for being here as well. Just down the street here, by the way, 395 Richmond Road is the location here in Westboro, and of course, Customer Appreciation Day happening in Barhaven, Orleans, and Westboro. We'll be back with more right after this. I think we're talking a little beer coming up after the break. Don't go anywhere.
Kids these days, people say we lack initiative.
And technology, that we're all addicted.
Kids these days, we hear that we only care about ourselves. Apparently, we're lazy.
And don't seem to have any sense of independence. Actually, kids these days are facing a lot. Because the world has changed, and so have our health issues. Kids these days, we could really use your help. Join CHIO in our biggest fundraising campaign ever to transform pediatric care.
Join me, holistic chef Daniela Croco, for season 4 of Simply Cooking by Chef, right here on Rogers TV.
OHL on Rogers TV.
Blast you. Hi, I'm Sam LaPrade, host of Ottawa Business Matters. We're going to gather here every single week and speak about business here in the capital. We're going to inspire, influence, and inform.
Listen, I think I just came up with a great idea. We're going to take the Baskin-Robbins ice creams. We're going to make some beer floats because Overflow Brewing Company is celebrating their 6-year anniversary. I am joined by co-owners and co-founders Brad Fennell and Mitch Veyer. Welcome, gents. Great to have you here.
Nice to be here.
Take me back 6 years ago. Where did this idea come from?
Two guys that were in IT, loving what they did, but looking for something a little bit more rewarding. Yeah, we brewed beer as a hobby. And we brewed it in his garage, and we bottled it in my basement.
Okay.
But yeah, we were looking for something else in life, and we were just looking for something to jump out of bed in the morning. What better way to run to a brewery and work for the day? Anyways,
you don't have to give me the sales pitch, buddy. I love my beer. Yeah, absolutely. So when you first started, what was that process like? You guys trying to figure out what you wanted to actually create?
Well, it all started with, it started with one beer. And then we thought, hey, this is great, and we should do this professionally. We should bring in. So what we did was.
Oh, they're asking who's who. I guess.
I'm Mitch.
This is Mitch. This is Brad. There we go. Sorry, I knew who they were already. Sorry. Just to key you guys, bro. Anyways.
So continue. We started, as Brad said, as a hobby, and really it just scaled up from there. So it started with a good business plan. Started with finding a good location, and then executing. Once you find. The money that you need to start up and everything else. And then the rest is history. I mean, 6 years went by really fast.
So, I can imagine, yeah. Brad, he mentioned the space, and I think that's what makes you guys very unique from a lot of other craft breweries in the area. Tell us about the space you guys have.
So we're a 15,000 square foot place. Half of that would be production brewery, and the other half is essentially a tap room. And when I say tap room and tasting room, this is where we become a little bit more unique. Our tap room is an event space, essentially. We're open 5 days a week, and that's Wednesday through to Sunday. And any one of those days, we're open for events. So we are open day to day, just for people to come in and grab a bite to eat from our kitchen and try our drinks. We have everything from locally distilled spirits. We have obviously our own beer. We have cider. We have RTDs and that type of stuff. Nice. But we really like to support local and bring everybody else in.
You bring a lot of live music into the space as well, right?
Right. So we, aside from doing events, whether they be corporate or private or weddings or anything like that, we actually do every Friday and Saturday. We have live events. And so those are a lot of tributes, but we also bring in a lot of bands traveling through Ottawa, and we have a lot of great local talent.
Oh yeah, I've seen some great bands at your place, and it's a great space. I mean, you got plenty of room to dance. It's so much fun.
Yeah,
you guys have done a great job with that. Well, let's talk about your plans for to celebrate your 6-year anniversary. Mitch, what have you got planned?
So 6 years, like I said, went by so fast. We have an amazing team that's put together this great party for us, and what better way to party than to wrap in some fundraising as well, right?
Nice.
So what we'd like to do, and what we're doing, is we're going to do some fundraising for the Ottawa Hospital this year. And so proceeds from the event, food, beer sales, and we have raffles. We have lots of companies that have donated many gifts. And we're just going to make a full day out of it.
Nice.
We're going to have, it's foods and, snacks and beer and whatever else, and lots of live music on that day as well.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Sounds absolutely fun. Well, let's talk about the beers you brought along with you here. How many beers do you have available right now, Brad?
We have 11.
11, okay.
Right now. We have a few seasonals which we brought along with us.
Okay.
These are in no specific order, but the ones with the labels that are kind of like these three and this fourth here, those are our standard beer.
Okay.
So this is our IPA, our Pilsner, our extra pale ale, and then we have our lager, which is a special edition. We have our toasted wheat with coconut. That's another special edition. And then we have our porter, which is kind of a favorite. When you say make a float with ice cream and a porter,
that's the way. That's the way to go.
Yeah, that's a good dessert beer. But this is just a small amount of number of beer that we have, and I'll just give everybody a little look.
Sure, why not? Absolutely.
Yeah, so this is our. It's got a little slight smell of coconut aroma.
Okay.
Here's our.
And you said this lager is special in what manner?
It's a special edition. It's an approachable beer that, especially for concerts and stuff like that, where we try to bring people may not. They want to enjoy it. They want to experience the brewery. They want the beer, the food. But the thing is that maybe they're not an IPA person, or maybe they want something with a little bit more flavor, and maybe they are IPA people. But the lager that we brought in, it's a European lager. It's 4%.
Okay.
We find that at our concerts, it's one of those beers that everybody can enjoy together. And, and then you still have your huge IPA crowd that just want the hoppy beers.
Easy drinking, right? Is the way I guess you would describe the lager, the special edition.
It's one of our lighter beers from a hoppiness perspective. You won't pick any of that up. Anybody that's had like a standard lager that's kind of where it falls in.
Mitch, are you in restaurants as well? Like, are other people serving up your product in local restaurants?
We're upwards of about 60 restaurants now around the city. Yeah, so that's growing. We're also in LCBO, beer store, grocery stores. We're just expanding organically from the city.
Very nice. Great. What do you think you owe the success to so far, Brad? Because again, I mean, the space itself has become popular, but the beer has just exploded here in the region.
It does come down to your team and the support unit they have behind you. So we can't thank our staff enough. Our brewer, he's won 10 awards in the last 6 years.
Really?
Yeah. Wow. Well, really 5 years because we didn't enroll last year, but. That's really what it comes down to. You're only as good as the team behind you, and that's everything from our local artists that bring the best music to our kitchen team that brings some of the best food and some of the best menu, and the hospitality is something that's definitely. It's catching on for us, and since the pandemic, everybody wants to get out now.
Nice, so. Mitch. Yeah, you guys have touched on the menu. Just share a few items. What are some of the sort of signature items on the menu?
It's a smaller menu. It's not a big, diverse menu, but we do have we do tacos, nachos, burgers,
ribs.
We have some flatbreads. We have ribs, chicken. So there's a little bit of everything.
Food that goes very well with beer.
Oh yeah.
Totally. Right across the board.
Yeah.
They have to get tickets in advance, Brad?
This is a free event. It's one of those birthday parties, the more the merrier. So the more people that we can bring in, the better. Mitch mentioned the Ottawa Hospital. Sean Sisk, who's a local Ottawa celebrity and photographer, he's a big part of our family, and he helped us choose the charity this year, just because of what he went through last year.
Yeah.
But everything is free that night as far as.
November 27th, 7 p.m.
7
kicks
p.m.
off. There you go. Again, Overflow Brewery. You can find out more at overflowbeer.ca and find all the products, as I said, in the LCBO. We'll be back with more right after this.
This episode of Daytime Ottawa is brought to you in part by Trio Financial Planning, helping individuals and families live today and build for tomorrow. Branton Renovation is pleased to support this episode of Daytime Ottawa. Branton Renovations, Ottawa's award-winning renovations team.
For me, the end was just the beginning. I felt I must come. If I did not come at once, it would be too late. And these places that are watered with the best blood of Canada might only be names and memories. I see it in the soldiers, the grief I know so intimately. And I will not abandon these men to it. The isolation wears on me. Slowly, the silence takes over, as if my heart has given out of air. I cannot talk. I can only paint.
For more than 2 years, Mary Ryder Hamilton painted the battlefields of the First World War, creating an unforgettable visual record of service and sacrifices at immense personal cost.
This episode of Daytime Ottawa is brought to you in part by Dustin Design and Drafting, your first step toward building your dream project with a team approach. Daytime Ottawa is proudly supported by Mary's Must Read Book Club. Follow Mary on social media at Mary K. Taggart for her latest book club picks.
I think I'm about to age both of us, because I've known my next guest for over 45 years now. Dick Cooper, the Cooper brothers, celebrating their 50th anniversary at Meridian Theatres at Centrepoint, coming up very quickly on November 27th. Dick, welcome. Good to see you, bud. How are you?
Good to see you, as always.
How you feeling? How you doing?
I'm good.
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 Let's talk a little bit about the history going back, 50 years. How did you guys, I mean, obviously your brother and yourself, but bringing the whole band together, how did that all come about?
Most bands, you kind of experiment at the start with different people, and then you finally find the right group. And I think with us, it was when my brother and I found Terry King, the late great Terry King, and that's kind of when it all gelled. And that's when, something that's pretty funny is that we didn't think of the name Cooper Brothers.
Really?
That's how sad
somebody
we are.
else suggested it?
we had recorded our first single, and it was coming out, and we had cut it with Les Emerson, who was living in Los Angeles. Okay. And Les says, "I have to put a name. Would you guys stop fighting about the name?" Because we were all fighting about the name. And then he phoned up one day, goes, "You're the Cooper Brothers." Click. And that was it.
And that's so your brother Brian and yourself, were you guys were your parents into music?
Yeah,
like what was the
my
connection?
Dad was, he took a shot at songwriting. He went down to New York and stuff like that, and got totally screwed over by the business. And he was so thrilled that we were going to do that. It was
after his experience, of like, oh yeah, boys, get right in there.
I'm really glad you're leaving university, Dick, to go with your brother on the road. Yeah, that's awesome.
Well, and you guys did go on the road. You toured with some of the absolute greats. I mean, take me back to those days. I mean, how much fun was that?
What we remember?
Yeah.
Kind of a blur there, those 2 or 3 years. Well, we toured with Joe Cocker, and we opened for AC/DC, and it was we were on the road for a couple of years and just opened for everybody.
Right.
10 years after, and like every night it was like, who are we opening for tonight? And it was like Lana Rhythm Section and a lot of the Southern bands.
Right.
Because we were signed to Capricorn, so we did that whole circuit, So.
Well, and I know there's probably a lot of crazy stories that Dick cannot share on a family show like Daytime. But I remember back in the day, you telling me, you guys didn't want to necessarily get wrapped up in that sort of rock and roll, that music industry, the sex, drugs, and rock and roll kind of thing. And you ended up taking up tennis on the road. Is that right?
Yeah. The trouble when you're on tour is that you play, especially as an opening act, you play like 30, 40 minutes a night. That's it.
Right.
So how do you kill the other 23 hours?
Yeah.
Right. So it's like that's when you get in trouble.
Yeah.
And so we kind of thought we had a lot of examples of other guys around us. So yeah, and the rackets fit in our bags pretty
couldn't
easy.
bring golf bags.
No, they
take
would
up
not
too
let
much
us
room.
do
I remember
that.
you telling me that.
Yeah.
Right?
So we played a lot of tennis on the road. We wound up being not bad tennis players. My brother and I and Terry, we all played tennis. Yeah.
Your biggest hit, "The Dream Never Dies." Has that been covered? And how many times has that been covered now?
A few. Yeah. Mostly country artists.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like Bill Anderson cut it, Juice Newton cut it.
Tell me about writing that song. How did that come to you?
Well, that's pretty funny. I woke up in the middle of the night, and I wrote "Dream Never Died." I wrote the chorus, and it took me 2 years to write the rest of it.
Really?
And I could never find the chords in the verses, because the chorus is at 145, as we say in the business, it's just got the 3 chords.
Right.
And I wanted to write something that was a little cooler in the verses, and it took me years. It took me.
Wow.
And I remember playing Les the chorus. He goes, well, that's a hit song, man. What's the verse like? I go, I don't have it. He goes, what? I don't have a verse, man.
And a lot of changes over the years, right? We're just watching you guys at one of your performances, as a matter of fact, at Meridian Theaters, and you brought in, new people over the years. What's that been like, playing with all these different people over the years?
Oh my God, it's awesome.
Yeah. Eh?
I mean, we have Sherry Harding in the band,
yeah,
and we have Jeff Rogers in the band. Both of them have albums out. Both of them are fantastic solo artists.
Yeah.
And we're going to feature them at the concert too. We're going to.
Oh, you mentioned them as artists. That's something else that you've done your entire life, is work with other artists. You continue to do so in mostly a songwriting.
Yeah, songwriting and producing. I helped Jeff produce his record. I helped Sherry produce her record. That just it lowers the age too on stage.
Yeah.
We're trying to bring that median age down, So that's why our opening act is a kid at this time. It's
tell us about the opening act.
Well, I don't know him that well. I just know him, Spencer McKenzie, but he's nominated for Juno and stuff like that. And he's just a kid, and it's like, oh, great, let's get some youth in there.
Well, and I guess that keeps you going too, right? I mean, that's a huge path. You've always loved songwriting. You continue to do it to this day.
Yeah.
You're teaching at Algonquin as well, right? Tell me about that course at Algonquin.
I don't dress like this.
No?
No.
I'm actually surprised to hear that.
Not to dress like this is rock and roll life. I wear a jacket with patches and a pipe, and I do the whole.
But they must love. That must be a great experience for you to be, passing along all this knowledge, that you've collected over the last 50 years.
Yeah, I think it helps them, really practical stuff about some of these kids are going to go out on the road, and I'll tell them about the pitfalls of that life, or songwriting, or dealing with record labels, or touring, all of that stuff, right? So at least they're talking to a guy that's done it,
Yeah.
I didn't get it out of a book. I got it the hard way.
And you've written a book, by the way, called Jukebox. If you have not read the book, it is one of the funniest laugh-out-loud books I have ever read in my entire life.
Thank you.
That must have been a fun process, too, right? Because I guess you brought in some of your own life experiences with the book.
Yeah, it was getting the rock and roll monkey off my back kind of after I'd left for a while. Just get it all out and try to start over again. Yeah.
How many members in the band now?
7.
You got okay.
But for the center point, we got a horn section.
Nice.
And we got a couple of girls in the back besides Sherry, and got a couple other guests coming in.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Cannot wait. Dick, thanks so much for coming. Really
Good
appreciate
seeing
the
you,
time. Good
as
seeing you
always.
too, buddy. Cooper Brothers 50th anniversary at Meridian Theaters at Centerpoint. November 27th kicks off at 8 p.m. You can get your tickets on the Meridian Centerpoint website. It's almost sold out, by the way. I was just on there this morning. Tickets are going fast. We'll be back with more Daytime right after this.
This episode of Daytime Ottawa is brought to you in part by Trio Financial Planning, helping individuals and families live today and build for tomorrow. Branton Renovation is pleased to support this episode of Daytime Ottawa. Branton Renovations, Ottawa's award-winning renovations team.
I'm Sam LaPrade. I hope you join us for an hour to give. It's a wonderful way to learn all about the charities and nonprofits in this community that are changing and saving lives. Look forward to seeing you then.
When I was diagnosed with Guillain-Barré syndrome, I was deteriorating in front of everybody.
All my life, I lived with sickle cell. I went through a tragic crisis that put me in a coma for 3 weeks. While I was in there, I received a lot of blood to put me in a healthier state.
I was given the plasma then through IVIG. Even though that happened so long ago, it still has a massive impact on me today.
Thanks to donors, I can live another life.
Because of you, I will be seeing my grandchild.
Are you a content creator looking to expand your audience and make your voice heard in your community? Rogers TV wants to provide you with a platform to share your hobbies, interests, and stories for free. Visit us to find out more.
This episode of Daytime Ottawa is brought to you in part by Dustin Design and Drafting, your first step toward building your dream project with a team approach. Daytime Ottawa is proudly supported by Mary's Must Read Book Club. Follow Mary on social media at Mary K. Taggart for her latest book club picks.
Okay, it's called the Manatic Great Holiday Cookie Hunt, although I'm holding a lollipop. But we will explain that for you. It is a fantastic event, a sold-out event, but still wanted to have them on the show because it's raising money for some great causes here in the city. Here to tell us more about it, I'm joined by Barbara Phillips. She is the Executive Director of the Manatic Retirement Place and Miller's Seniors Apartments. Welcome. Great to have you here, Barbara. And Dana Morin is the Director of Marketing as well. Thank you, Dana. Great to have you here as well. We got to explain the giant lollipops here to start, Barbara. Tell me about these.
So when you purchase your Great Manatic Holiday Cookie Hunt ticket, we're giving you a map of clues to go around the community, the village of Manatic, to find your cookies. These are just a little help in case you don't get the clues properly. So any lollipop hanging out of a store, you know that place has cookies.
Very nice.
Yes.
Okay, well, we dove right into that. Dana, tell us about this event and what makes it so unique.
So Manatic is a very quaint little town with big heart. And we started this as an initiative to get the retirement residents involved into the town of Manatic. And so all of the businesses are very excited to jump on board, and it gets the word out for the businesses and also for Manatic Place.
So, Barbara, how did the residents then get involved with this?
The residents get involved. They help us make the lollipops.
Okay.
They're outside handing out some of the tins and the cookies. They buy tickets for their grandchildren, and they participate and they do the cookie walk. Yes.
Nice. Yeah, okay, so tell me, how does this work exactly? Do you get like a passport of some kind?
So when you sign up, you show up at our location, and we give you a cookie tin that was donated by the Great Canadian Dollar Store of Manatic. They donated all the tins this year. And we give you a map with clues, and you go around, and each place you go to, they sign off or stamp your passport.
Okay.
And by the time you finish, you end up with your Christmas baking done. You'll end up with about 38 cookies.
Really? That many?
Beautifully decorated cookies, yes.
Dana, the two of you mentioned you just came back from a nice lunch, a little Yorkshire pudding and roast beef. What was that lunch all about?
So we do a monthly lunch with Barb, and it's to get our residents downstairs and eating like a nice communal meal. We had a roast and potatoes and
they all help. Like they were peeling carrots and cleaning the green beans, and they made the brownies, and they set the table, and we walked away at the end, and they were playing Cinderella doing the dishes.
Yes,
so
it's perfect.
Nice. Oh yeah, it doesn't get any better. It's like going over to family's place during the holidays, right? Where you're just like, here's your bottle of wine and your hostess gift, and you get to sit back and enjoy everything. Let's talk a little bit about where the proceeds are going and why you've chosen these two organizations, Barb.
So this year we've split it up. We're going to donate to the Ottawa Food Bank because there is such a need. And we're going to also donate to
YOMA, so the Youth of Manatic Association.
Tell me a little bit about that association and why you chose them.
They're very important to Manatic, and it gets the youth out in the community and participating in a lot of different events that they maybe wouldn't be able to do.
Right. Barb, let's talk about Manatic Retirement Place. For those that aren't familiar, tell us a little bit about what makes you unique.
Well, there's always something going on at Manatic Place.
Right.
Manatic Place has been open for 10 years. We have wonderful activities and lifestyle programs like cooking. We've got 1 bedrooms, 2 bedrooms, studio apartments. We have registered nurses if you need it.
Okay.
You can be as independent as you'd like, or if you need assistance, we're there to help you. Across the street, we have our Miller's Seniors Apartment, a boutique-style living for our seniors, only 45 apartments, a great way to transition from home to communal living. So there is a continuum of care. If you move into the Miller Seniors Apartment and you're totally independent, if you need a little bit more help down the road or after a surgery, a cataract, we can take care of you at Manatic Place.
Nice. So Dan, I imagine you have programs in place. Like, how do you get the residents active and sort of engaged in that community that you've built?
Well, it's kind of like a cruise ship structure that I like to let people know about. So there are more activities than time in the day. You can't do them all, which is great.
That's a good problem
Yeah,
to
so we
have,
have everything from bingo, and we do chocolate bingo. Sometimes we'll take your money. We have a movie theater, so we like to do some Netflix. So you're not just, watching Netflix by yourself upstairs. You can come down and watch it with some friends. You name it.
Yesterday we had a granddaughter come in because her grandmother wasn't answering the phone. So she came in and said, "I don't know where my grandmother is." Well, her grandmother was an addict. She did she had breakfast, then she went to an exercise class, then she was doing a craft, and it was like what you see on TV. Like she was worried that her grandmother wasn't. Yeah, we had to track her down.
I love it.
So
that is a great sign that you guys are doing something pretty special there.
It's a great place to work, and it's a great place to live. We have the most amazing staff.
You have a nice complimentary luncheon that comes up in January as well as sort of a thank you. Tell me about that. So Dana, over to you, I guess. Yeah.
Okay, great. So a way that we like to reach out to the businesses that are participating, because they are supplying the cookies. So each business is responsible for supplying 125 cookies this year. And that's a big thank you that we'd like to say. So we host them at the Miller. And so all the businesses get to come in and have a complimentary lunch on us.
Nice. And Barb, I understand you're sold out for the event, but you have a waiting list. Is that right? In case something comes up with.
Absolutely. We have a waiting list. So the first year we did it, we did 50 cookies. Last year we did 100 cookies. We did up to 125 this year.
Nice.
And we're just waiting to see if
150 next year, folks.
Hey. Absolutely.
There you go. Get on the waiting list. You can head to maniticplaceretirement.ca. It's all coming up, by the way, on Saturday, December the 7th. Thank you so much. Really appreciate both of you being here. We'll be back to wrap things up right after this.
We fought our way through Italy and then headed for Amsterdam, sweeping for Germans along the way. Our worst fear was to catch a bullet in these last hours of the war.
I was 15 when the Nazis invaded the Netherlands. More than 100,000 Dutch Jews never came home. Our men were put into forced labor. By 1945, we were starving. The food drops gave us hope. And then the Canadians came.
Before Amsterdam, I couldn't have explained why we were there, all those years away from home, but the Dutch showed us why it mattered.
Papa wanted me to bring some soldiers home to thank them personally. And that's when I first saw Wilf. And I invited him over that afternoon.
Marguerite Blaise married Lieutenant Wilf Gildersleeve. They moved to Vancouver, where they raised 8 children. Today, the Dutch still remember the Canadians who liberated them.
Oh my goodness, I'm dying for some ice cream. The Baskin-Robbins, a big thanks to them again. Brand new location here in Westboro, just down the road here from us at 395 Richmond Road. Want to remind you as well, they have their Customer Appreciation Day coming up on November the 30th. That's at the Westboro, Barhaven, and Orleans locations, and they'll have different promotions and sales going on. $5 off cakes, I think 31% off some of their items as well. BaskinRobbins.ca, by the way, to find out more information about the brand. Overflow Brewery, the Overflow Brewing Company, turning 6 years old, celebrating their big 6-year anniversary. Everyone welcome. Raising money for the Ottawa Hospital in support and in memory of all that Sean Sisk went through. His story is just absolutely incredible. He'll be on hand there. That's coming up Wednesday, November 27th at 7 p.m. And on the same day, it's the Cooper Brothers' 50th anniversary. Dick Cooper and his brother Brian and the band, they're going to put on an amazing show. Again, same day, the 27th at 8 p.m., Meridian Theaters at Center Point. You can find your tickets there. It's selling out. There's hardly any tickets left, so make sure you get some. We'll see you next time here on Daytime. Thanks for watching.
Connect with us by visiting our website or email us at comments@rogerstv.com.
everybody. My name is Karen. I'm here with my best friends Shane and Monique. Join us on Rogers TV for Fitness Faction. Every week, we're going to take you through a full body workout. We've got strength training, we've got cardio, we've got HIIT. Ladies, let's get back into it.
I think we've got 10 more skaters. Let's go.